Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy and delusional Dino Jazz. Um, so today I kind of wanted to introduce a new segment to our channel. And before I start, I just want to let everyone know, if you haven't checked out our previous content, please do. We drop really cool content. So we have a podcast dropping every Sunday, and we have a music review on different artists dropping every Wednesday. And we do have occasional movie reviews too. So if you guys are interested in any of those, please do check out our content, subscribe to our channel, and give a thumbs up to the videos that you like. And do just spam the comments and let us know any related stuff about each thing we talk about. So today I'm going to be talking about my top five favorite adult animated sitcoms. And the reason why I wanted to start off with this for our top segmentation was because adult animation or animated sitcoms are my favorite genre for TV because it's just so relaxed and there's not much thinking to it. And it's just like a very, very like good pastime type of thing. So, and I know a lot of people feel the same way. So, I just thought it's like a really good approach and a really good way to kind of just start off this new segment to our channel. So here we go. So starting off with my fifth favorite show is Big Mouth. So Big Mouth, for those of you that don't know, is a Netflix original encompassing these middle schoolers that are having trouble going through puberty or having going through like they have like some sexual issues problems as they're growing up, and the main characters actually have their own hormone monsters, which is really interesting. So the show is very out of pocket and many people do not like it just because it's very intense and a lot of people do not appreciate that type of comedy. Personally, I'm not one of those people. I'm actually into very raunchy, very stoner comedic um, content, adult comedic content. So this show, I just fell in love with it first sight just because it was like a really, really funny show. And I like intense stuff like this. So for anyone who loves intense shows, do check out Big Mouth. It's a really really cool show and very out of pocket and very unique, but also very intense. So do keep that in mind when you decide to watch it. The fourth show I'm going to be mentioning is American Dad. So the show is in my list because I've always liked those type of animated shows that encompass the dysfunctional family. And this is one of the shows. So as you can see, the dad, the guy in the suit, his name is Stan. He's a CIA agent. The woman is also Stan's wife, and she is Francine. Then you got Steve, who's the son. You got the daughter, Haley. You got Roger the alien, and um, the fish right there, who was an ex KGB agent and got turned into a fish during an experimentation. So it's a really really funny take to the show. But the reason why I like the show is because of the dysfunctional family theme, like I'd mentioned before, and also because of Roger in specifically. I think he just lifts the show up in a different way, and maybe, and I'm not quite sure why, but maybe it's just because he's like an alien out of all these like humans living in a house, or it's just his personality is a very extroverted, don't give a shit type of um, you know, alien or figure. And I just thought that was like a really cool personality type for an alien, an animated alien in particular for a adult animated sitcom. So that's one reason why I like American Dad. The second reason why American Dad is because it's an episodic show, and when it comes to adult sitcoms or adult animated sitcoms, I like the episodic approach versus the serial approach because I like to see new and different situations during each episode. I feel like it's more flexible. You don't have to start at one particular show, even though I do recommend everyone goes in a sequential order when watching just any show, as there could be like some things that could relate. But the reason why I like it is because like episodic shows is because it's so laid back. You don't have to try and remember anything. It's just like a good way to pass time. It's like not too long too. These episodes are like 22 minutes, so like a typical sitcom um, episodic length. So that's another reason why I love this show. And the creator of the show is Seth MacFarlane. For anyone who knows Family Guy, he created this show second. And yeah, unlike Family Guy, it doesn't really have any cutaways or pop culture references in particular, but it's just like a really funny episodic show because each episode has like a new day, a new experience, a new issue, a new situation which each of the characters face. So I just like that approach in a TV show in particular. Going on to the third one, as I mentioned in The American Dad briefly, was Family Guy. So Family Guy is actually also created by Seth MacFarlane, as mentioned before. This is the first show that he created, and I love this show. And the reason why I love this show is because of the pop culture references. The cutaways are my favorite part about the show, and just the stupidity of Peter Griffin. He is like he's a village idiot in particular, and I think this family is more dysfunctional than Stan's family in American Dad, because Lois is like this intelligent wife, and then there's this village. She's married to this village idiot who is Peter, and he's just so like out there. Like he's very different, and I think he just brings like the energy to the show. And there's obviously Stewie, which a lot of people like just because he's very intelligent for like a 1 year old baby. There's Brian. I'm personally not a big fan of Brian just because he's very bland. Like he's a bit bland in character, but it is a good taste to the show. They're like every show should have some bland characters, some smart characters, some stupid characters, which is why I really like this show because you get a good mix of everything. Um, yeah, the second reason why I really like Family Guy is um, just because of like it's just the different characters. Like they have like the chicken, for example, which Peter always fights. So I always find those chicken and Peter Griffin fights really funny, and like it's just different stuff like that. There's and as the reason why I liked American Dad too was because it's an episodic show where there's a new situation and new issue, similarly to Family Guy. It's an episodic show, so there's a new situation, new issue, new day kind of thing. So you kind of get to see like difference in each episode, which is really cool. But overall, my favorite thing about this show is just the cutaways and the pop culture references. I do have to admit the show has gotten stale over the years, and now it just feels like they're just throwing episodes in, but it's still not bad. It's still decent, but I think my expectations are just personally high just because they did an amazing job from like season 1 to 6. Season 1 to 4 was absolutely truly amazing, the best seasons in the show. So I highly recommend for those of you that haven't checked out Family Guy. It's a really popular show too. Do check it out, please. Um, you won't regret it. The second show I'd like to talk about is Rick and Morty, and this is actually a really interesting show. So Rick and Morty is for those of you that don't know who created it. It's actually created by Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. So Dan Harmon is an established writer, very successful writer. He created the show of Community. It's a live sitcom before he worked on Rick and Morty, and that show is a really good show too. So do check that show out if you get time. But I'm just going to talk more about Rick and Morty right now. So the reason why I like Rick and Morty is because it's so out of pocket, but so intelligent too, and it's intelligent in a way that you have to have some kind of understanding of the dystopian landscape, time machines, futuristic kind of things, science and technology. So you obviously don't need to be a genius to understand the show, but the show did take like a genius take towards it, and I think that's like really cool. And like kudos to Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland for creating the show. I just love the another reason why I love the show is because of the endless possibilities. The universe is just starting. It's like Star Wars. The Star Wars lore for any Star Wars fans out there is so deep and the biggest lore out of any fictional universe. And I think Rick and Morty could be next out of that. Because Rick and Morty, from what we saw in like the show itself, is just could possibly just be like a tenth of what the Rick and Morty universe really holds. So I just do think the show has so much potential, and I do hope they continue to just keep on making tons of episodes. I know um, I read online somewhere, I don't know if it's confirmed, but Justin Roiland did say that he does want to make a Rick and Morty movie, which could be really, really cool too. And I think we're overdue for a film for this show, such a successful show as Rick and Morty. So I think we're overdue for a film. But just the show in general is just truly amazing, and I do recommend for people who just love like universes, futuristic stuff, science and technology. You're just like out of pocket, very like fantasy, science, sci-fi oriented stuff. Do check out this show. I think this show, out of any other animated show, has the most potential to have the most amount of lore and most detailed universe because there's so much to it. There's so much that we need to unravel, so much more we need to unravel from this show. And it's like the potential is amazing. It's like Star Wars, it could be never ending. And I do like universes like that because the more you get to explore, the more connections you can make to each thing in the universe. And it's just phenomenal. And I do think that Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland did take an interesting approach, um, just because it's like very different from Dan Harmon's first show, Community. But I do love the show so much for that reason, just because it's like the universe has so much potential. The Rick and Morty universe has so much potential, and it could be so powerful. So for anyone who hasn't checked out Rick and Morty, it's a must-do Adult Swim show. Please do check it out. If you haven't checked it out, you will not regret it. So coming to my favorite show of well, not my favorite show of all time, but my favorite, animated show, and that is the Boondocks. So this is actually an older show, and it is much more realistic than the other shows that I had mentioned previously in this video. And the realisticness is actually the reason why I like the show much more. And I do love, like I said before, I like Rick and Morty because it's so out of pocket, so much sci-fi, so much fantasy stuff. But I do love the show because the way they build the jokes and the comedic scenes in the show is just very, very intelligent. They kind of build up to it. Whereas if you watch like a show like Big Mouth, Paradise PD, Brickleberry, Trailer Park Boys, um, you'll notice that like a lot of it is just very stupid comedy, which is really fun. The way they kind of build up and kind of create smart yet really comedic content. Um, and the creator of the show is Aaron McGruder, and um, I like this show. Personally, I feel like if it was started now during this current time, it wouldn't do as well, just because times have changed. But and the reason is the show does touch on a lot of political sensitive topics, which back then was, I guess, more socially acceptable to touch upon. So I do find that funny. So for those of you that don't know the Boondocks, it's actually about um, this granddad and his two grandsons moving to the suburbs from Chicago, Illinois, and it's just basically an episodic show too, and it's just really really funny. Just the intelligent jokes, the comedic build up, the the characters are really funny, and like Huey, who is the elder son, is actually a genius. He's a smart guy, and then there's Riley, who was like a wannabe gangster type of person. He's like, yeah, his role models are mainly like rappers, thugs, like those types. So it's really really cool and really really funny show, and I do recommend that everyone does watch it because it's just like it's like a really good pastime show too to watch, just because it also has an episodic approach. Another big reason why I like this show was because I like the unique way they kind of use the anime type of animation for the show. So I don't know if this is the only American sitcom right now that has, or so far has used the anime animation style, but this was definitely probably the first or one of the first, and I think that was a really cool take to it. I know there's a new revamped Boondocks coming out on HBO Max, and I'm not actually sure if that's gonna be similar with, like, I know these three are gonna be in it for sure, but I don't know if the other characters are gonna be in the show. Really haven't read or taken a deep look into it, but it could be good too. But that one does not have an animation style, and I guess that kind of bummed me out just because I love the way they kind of use it in this first one. But I haven't. I guess it's not fair to say how that show will be because I haven't really watched it. But this is a show that I will truly miss. There's 4 seasons and they're not too long. So yeah, guys, just check it out. And yeah, like, thank you guys for watching. This is my like top 5 list for my favorite animated shows. If you guys like this video, give a thumbs up. If you like our content in particular and you want to see, related content in the future, do subscribe to our channel. We will be dropping some really cool content. And yeah, just in the comment section, just let me know what your, top 5, top 10, or just top any animated shows are. It's really cool to know about, to know other people's opinions and other people's, you know, favorite shows too. And it's good to share that with others. So thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for more Delusional Dinos content.